Tony Petitti wants 24 teams in the pool.
Yeah, sure he does. And you know what? Charlie Baker wants 96.
Why not just go to 64 and be done with it? And we can start the playoff, 2 weeks before Halloween.
Let me ask you this. Do you think if we added that many teams to the college football playoff, we'd have the foresight to back the calendar up into August and we'd already be playing college football? No, we wouldn't.
We could start this weekend.
We could start everybody this weekend.
Yeah.
We should be starting everybody this weekend.
Yes, I agree.
And I don't want to hear, they go home in the summer. No, they don't. Not anymore.
Nobody goes home.
No, they don't go home and they do the summer job at the construction site. It doesn't happen anymore. Do you know why? Because they're getting paid.
Right. They go fishing with Dave Dorn.
Yeah, they go fishing with Dave Dorn. They hang out. They do whatever. But nobody goes home in the summer anymore. They're 350-day-a-year students.
Well, they're really employees, but that's fine. Yeah.
Well, not in the world you and I live in. They are employees. In the world that exists right now, no. But anyway, I know what you mean.
In this fantasy world that the administrators continue to try to live in. By the way, we have Bubba Cunningham tomorrow.
Great.
Some of this will come up or not, but I'll ask him about 28 because Bubba is always willing to weigh in on silliness of the day.
He is.
But here's the 28 thing. Here's what's really got me.
Okay.
And I invite you to go check it out. We had Manny Diaz on yesterday.
Okay.
And I brought it up to him because he was hinting at something like that. I said, have we gotten a little carried away here? But he seemed like he was in favor of it because it would be like, I understand what he's talking about. I disagree with it, but I understood it. But because he's talking about the games are content and they're entertainment. And I do think that when we get to, because I believe we're headed for a complete reimagining of what college football, how it's presented, to where it looks a lot more like the NFL. And I don't know how many teams will separate. It could be 60, it could be 40, it could be 80. Separate, form a super league, and only play each other. And they're only loosely tied to universities through licensing deals and marketing deals.
Right.
But if that happens, then go nuts. But those players will be employees then.
Yeah, that's the way I look at it. In that, can you hear me? By the way,
absolutely.
Okay. I think 29 is going to be the start of the next line of volatility. 28, 29.
Yeah.
By then, I am hopeful that we're going to have some concrete leadership to help govern the space, of which we have none now.
Yeah.
And I give you Michigan as the latest example. But that is, and the thing that I got to be honest with you, Adam, the thing that I'm more discouraged about is nobody wants to look at the full process. They only want to look at the end game.
Right.
And the end game being the CFP or the NCAA basketball tournament. The NCAA basketball tournament situation was nothing but a chance move by the National Collegiate Athletic Association to see if they couldn't heavy up on the television rights holders to pay them more money to create revenue, right? And quite frankly, the TV rights holders are not going to go for it.
They proved that.
Right. And the other part is this too, and I'm going to dispel this rumor only because I think it's out there. The Masters does not dictate college basketball.
Okay.
But CBS has they have millions of dollars of reason to want to show the Masters, and it's proven itself every year.
Yeah.
We could play college basketball while the Masters is going on. It just wouldn't be on CBS.
Right.
And by the way, we have had a national championship game and a Final Four 3 times in the last 6 years and 4 in the last 8 on TNT and TBS, not on CBS.
Right.
Okay? So while everybody's up in their arms, oh, we can't have basketball after the Masters. Yes, you can. You just don't show it on CBS while the Masters is going on. That's fine. But we're losing. That's what I mean by the football thing too. People say, well, we can't start the football season in mid-August. Why not?
Right. Well, you know what? One of the arguments is that it's too hot. Mike, have you been in Georgia in October or September? It's hot. It's hot then,
or
too.
Stanford in September where there's no AC in the press box.
Oh, really?
Okay. No AC in the press box. Anyway,
Seems
all that being said, if we're going to do all this and take this to the next level, we've got to get beyond the box of, well, college football. I mean, come on. It has to start late. No, it doesn't. In fact, if you're the college football game, I believe in 2029 or 2030, the National Football League is going to go to 18 games in 20 weeks. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I also am of the belief that every team is going to play an international game when it happens. There'll be 16 international games every year at various and sundry times in far-begotten ports of call from places we don't even know that the NFL will go play worldwide. Why? Because they can.
Yeah.
And people will watch. If we back the college football season up to where they play 2-3 weeks uncontested against the National Football League, is that a bad problem? I don't think so. I don't believe that is a bad problem for college football. In fact, I think it actually might be a hell of an idea. Look at how good next weekend is to open the college football season, coast to coast.
Yeah.
Right?
Tons of great games.
Hey, and we could do 3 weeks of that crap.
Yeah, the first 3 weeks of the season, for the most part, are where the best non-conference games are that don't involve Notre Dame because they're one giant non-conference game. But the first 3 weeks are where we have them.
Yeah. I mean, to me, it makes too much sense to back it up into August. People crave the product.
Yeah. Well,
right
5
now
million people watch the Bears and the Bills Sunday night.
Oh,
5 million. That's awesome.
Right. And by the way, you know what a 5 million number is in college football? A damn good crowd.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a damn good television rating. Here's the other thing, too. The TV element of college football has also got to be adjusted. And you've heard me say this about the first round of the college football playoff against the NFL, and you're on the same page with me. Quit doing it.
Yeah.
Right? Doesn't do any good.
No.
I was with a group of people Friday night, and we all came to the genuine consensus that if the College Football Playoff Committee does not understand how competitive the television number is in the NFL and get away from the NFL as much as possible, they're asking for trouble.
I mean, the entire sport of golf ends before the NFL starts because of it.
Correct. You know why? Because nobody was watching the Tour Championship in September.
Or at one point, it was in November.
And that was worse.
It's unbelievable.
And you can play. And by the way, guess what you do by playing the fall events behind the Tour Championship? Grow your game.
Yeah, you get a lot of players who wouldn't normally play.
Correct.
No doubt about that. So here was the other thing about the 28 teams, and then I'll move off of it, and we'll talk about the league for a second. Wes Durham is joining us here. A few more minutes with Wes.
Sorry for the rant.
No, it's fine. Like, I got to take a breath. It's not easy to. I mean, I had a rough fall. With the 2018 plan, with 7 designated spots for the SEC and the Big Ten, and 5 each for the ACC and the Big 12, and 2 for the best non-Power 4 champions.
Go ahead and say it. The WAC
for the
Wyoming.
the MAC.
Wyoming
for Army.
Boise. Get them
right. And then 2 at large. One of them is Notre Dame. 28 teams getting in. Notre Dame is going to be in every year. So 1 at large. Do they just want to get sued? Is that the plan for Tony Petitti? You're telling me that you get 28 teams in and you can't find a spot for all of the non-Power 4 conferences? Are you joking?
Remind me real quick. We did 4 teams for how many years?
Right.
And we've done 12 for how many years? One year. I think it is. One we've done 12, yeah. And we're going to do 12 this year.
Yeah.
And then if they don't get it rigged up by December 1st, we're going to do 12 for maybe 4 more years.
Which is fine.
Right?
I had no problem with 12.
Absolutely would be fine until you fix the schedule.
Yeah.
Until we back everybody up into what? Mid-August. Why is that? Well, because I just explained why.
Just
see what I mean? We're so busy at the end. At the end, Adam,
Yeah. Well, also, nobody look, I pushed back on it last year because I think it proved to be true that you render your regular season less meaningful by expanding the playoff because the outcome of games doesn't necessarily matter. Case in point, Alabama beats Georgia. What was it, week 4? Week 5?
Right.
Georgia made the playoff, Alabama didn't.
Right.
It really didn't matter so much.
Ole Miss beat Georgia and didn't make it either.
There you go. So it does. We can pretend that it doesn't matter, but sheer numbers allow teams to lose twice, maybe a third time, given a set of circumstances, and still make the field. Look, I wasn't arguing that Clemson belonged in. They got in because they won the game. They won the game they had to win. And anybody could get in that game and win it. You don't have to be really good to get in that game. I remember watching an SEC championship game with a 4-loss team in the game before. They didn't win that game. I think it was Mississippi State, something like that.
It was.
But they didn't win that game, but I mean, you're playing it. You never know what could happen in a game like that. So the more teams that are in, the less relevant your regular season is. And isn't basketball kind of a cautionary tale for that? I mean, no offense to basketball, but I mean, the season doesn't really start till Duke Carolina in late January.
Nationally, the season does not start, and you and I have had this conversation before. The consensus on college basketball in this country is it starts with the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, that's when most people start paying close attention.
Champ week, and then the NCAA tournament. Unless
Zion Williamson is on the court, in which case 4 million people watch a Saturday afternoon game in Tallahassee.
That's right. The other part of this that I'm cautioned about basketball is basketball starts too early. Basketball needs to go into November like they used to.
Yes. Thanksgiving.
And by the way, you could expand the tournament all you want if you started in late November because you'd play into the middle or latter part of April. Which, by the way, doesn't hurt anybody because guess what? They're all going to school anyway that semester, allegedly.
Or not.
Or not. But for me, basketball can relate to the change that it needs to make moving ahead in the schedule. The old Paul Hewitt theory of basketball is a one-semester sport. Why is it 2? Just make it a one-semester sport, right?
Yep.
If the academic calendar matters anymore. But the idea, I'm not sure it does. The element of football and the element of basketball, they could both learn from each other. Football backs up, basketball moves forward. I don't know how much that's dictated by other things, but for me, in this era of revenue generation, they got to look at all the possibilities, and expanding the back end of this does not answer all those questions. And it's really going to be an interesting. I think from a business perspective, the next 4 or 5 years are going to be fascinating to watch out.
Oh my gosh. I personally think that college football is leaving a lot of money on the table in not separating football from the rest of the sports.
Yeah,
I think
probably.
They could get a ton more money, especially if they were also willing to break up the playoff as big as they wanted to make it and share it among different networks. Like the Big Ten ain't wrong. They're everywhere.
But here's the thing, Adam. And I look, I have great respect for Tony Petitti. I don't know him at all.
But I'm just talking about how they're on CBS, NBC, and
Peacock
Fox.
And Fox,
right? And various streaming services. I mean, you can find them everywhere.
Sure, yeah. The Big Ten has done a good job of
making money,
plunging into the television pattern.
Yeah,
right. I mean, look, there's the ESPN platforms. And then there's the Fox, CBS. Fox really doesn't have a platform other than Fox and FS1. I mean, FS2 I'm sure is there. But when you look at Fox, they've got 3 options. NBC has done a marvelous job with Peacock. CBS is on the way doing a great job with Paramount.
Yes.
For me, the element you look at if you're the Big Ten, and again, this is directed at Tony only. And again, I don't know him. I have great respect for his work in television. And so far, so good with the Big Ten, it seems like. It feels like a lot of the stuff he's basing his rhetoric on for this expansion, and that, by the way, for the 4-4 deal that was on the table earlier before we proposed everybody get a participation ribbon here, is that he's using a lot of NFL logistics to talk about it.
Right.
That doesn't fit as much as we're drawing the parallels of conferences to divisions in the NFL. That doesn't fit here. Because here's why. And the Panthers are where in week 1? I'm drawing a blank.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville. So let's take Florida State, Alabama, and the Panthers and Jaguars. So whoever loses that Florida State Alabama game, what's going to be the rhetoric on Monday morning nationally?
If it's Alabama, if they lose that game, I'm not so sure that Kalen DeBoer gets game 2.
Okay. But the rhetoric is going to be that their season is over.
Yes.
Right? Okay. The loser of the Panthers-Jaguars game on Monday is going to be what? On to week 2.
But except in Charlotte where they're nuts.
But what I'm getting at is
you're 100%
the loser of the opening week in the National Football League is treated entirely different from the loser in the week 1 in college football.
100%.
It's not even close.
Right, but that narrative should change as the playoff gets bigger.
It should, but it doesn't.
Right.
Because we saw a 2-loss team get in the playoff last year. We're probably going to see 2-loss teams get in this year. That part of this is a growing draw toward the National Football League model. What Tony's saying is, well, you get to the playoffs with 5 or 6 losses. You're not getting to this one with 5 or 6 losses. If you expand it to 28, Tony. That's not happening,
No,
Coach.
but you'll get in with 4, maybe 5.
You're not getting in with 5, Adam.
4 you might.
By the
4
way,
you will. 4 you will.
Side note, if you go to this big old field of teams for a playoff,
right,
guess what else you're going to get rid of in the process?
Conference championship games.
No doubt.
Yeah.
And by the way, I think only one of them makes money at it.
Just the SEC. I think the ACC might make some money off theirs.
I'd like to know. I mean, I don't know for sure what the ACC and the Big 12 and the Big 10 do. I know the SEC makes a lot of money.
Sure. Yeah, they ain't giving that up.
I think they make $15 to $17 million is what I've been told.
Yeah, they ain't giving that up. Final thing for Wes Durham, and I appreciate your time, and you do. Video just brings out your eyes, too. I don't know. That's terrible.
The black harness brace around your shoulder looks good, though. Yeah, it's nice.
It's not comfortable.
No,
it's just not comfortable. It could be just the fact that
Neither's this big bandage I got yesterday, too.
Oh, what happened?
The skin cancer thing. Go to the I'm a frequent visitor to the dermatologist.
All right. I should be.
Yes, you should.
We're
at that age, Adam. You need to think about some of those things.
What are your expectations for Carolina?
I enjoyed watching their practice last week. Okay. And I said this to some other people, I was very impressed with just the fundamental simplicity of the practice.
Right.
And I appreciate the competitive nature of which it's conducted. I think Carolina is being, here's a stunner, incredibly well coached. I think they're going to be good. I think they're going to be better on defense because he's never had a bad one.
Right.
I think they're going to be evolving on offense. I think Gio Lopez is fun to watch. Davion Goss could be a really good player for them. But I think the schedule's workable. So I think 7 is there. I think 8 is possible. And if they catch a flyer, 9 maybe. But I don't think they can afford some injury. Now, if injuries hit there, Adam, and I jokingly said this to some Carolina people last week after I got back from my visit, the infamous words of Chan Gailey in his first year at Georgia Tech when he lost 3 players in 2 weeks. He looked at me and said, too bad we don't have a waiver wire in this sport. I said, you're right, Coach.
Well, we're not that far from it. Eventually, there will be.
Hey, did you hear about the Northern Illinois athletic director, Sean Frazier, that wants a poaching fee?
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Like soccer? I don't hate that idea.
I do not hate it. Look, next time we talk, and I'll make it soon as long as you're willing, we can talk about the similarities. You are also a fan. Sorry about your hammers. I have very low expectations for West Ham.
You should.
By the way, they show the championship on either ESPN Plus, I think, or Paramount Plus, so you'll be able to follow them next season.
Dude, let me tell you this. If Wrexham gets promoted, I'm changing.
They're not. Wrexham, I think Wrexham will do well to stay up.
Yeah, I agree.
I've seen them play twice. The similarities between college sports and European soccer are striking to me.
Well, I told you from the first time I went to a European soccer match, I went to see West Ham play Man City at Old Bowling Ground in 2014. And I have said from that day on, the English equivalent to college football is Premier League.
No question.
It is unbelievable, and every American should go see a Premier League match in that country. If you get a chance, go.
With the help of Wes Durham, we just ticked off so many people that don't want to hear me talk about soccer. Beautiful. I love it. As I do you. Appreciate your time, sir. I will talk to you very soon.
See you guys next week for the Pack and the Pirates.
Oh, big time.
Thursday night, Carter Finley Stadium.
We might have to talk next week then, Wes.
Take care, man.
Peace.
See you.